Welcome to 2026, where motorcycle manufacturers have completely abandoned sanity in the pursuit of pure, unfiltered power. We're talking engines with displacement over 2,000 cc, forced induction systems pumping out obscene horsepower, and acceleration numbers that rival supercars costing 10 times as much. Today, I'm counting down the 15 most powerful motorcycles you can buy right now in 2026. These are production motorcycles with license plates, turn signals, and warranties. Let's count them down. 15. Suzuki Hayabusa. The Suzuki Hayabusa is the motorcycle that started the horsepower wars back in 1999. And the 2026 model proves Suzuki refuses to let anyone forget who started this madness. The engine is a 1,340 cubic centimeters inline, 4 producing 190 horsepower at 10,200 RPM and 104 foot-pounds of torque at 7,000 RPM. That's insane power from a naturally aspirated motor. The engine uses Suzuki's variable valve timing system that adjusts cam timing based on RPM, optimizing power delivery across the entire Revi range. The technology this bike has includes a 6-axis IMU, controlling cornering IBES, traction control with 10 levels of adjustment, launch control, and 3 riding modes: street, sport, and custom. The TFT display is 7 inches with Bluetooth connectivity for smartphone integration. New MSRP for the 2026 Hayabusa is $19,200. That's serious money, but you're getting a motorcycle that's been refined over 27 years of development. But if you think 190 horsepower is impressive, wait till you meet the naked lunatic that said, "Hold my Birra Moretti," and proceeded to make sport bikes look weak. 14. Ducati Street Fighter V4S. The Ducati Street Fighter V4S is what happens when Ducati takes their Panigale. V4 Superbike rips off the fairings, adds drag-inducing handlebars, and somehow makes it feel more dangerous than the fully faired version. This naked bike is so sexy, you're gonna want to make love to it. But please keep your pants on while riding it. The engine is a 1,103 cc Desmosedici Stradale V4 producing 208 horsepower at 13,000 RPM and 90.4 foot-pounds of torque at 9,500 RPM. This is essentially a detuned MotoGP engine made street legal. The cylinder heads use Ducati's Desmodromic valve system, mechanically controlled valves that don't use springs, allowing extreme high RPM operation. The bike weighs 436 pounds naked, approximately 478 pounds wet. That's light for this much power, creating a power-to-weight ratio that defies physics. Technology is race-level, 6-axis IMU, cornering ABS EVO, Ducati traction control EVO 3, with predictive logic, wheelie control, engine brake control, launch control, and 4 riding modes. The electronics are so sophisticated, they can detect a potential slide before it happens and adjust power delivery preemptively. New MSRP for the 2026 Street Fighter V4S is $24,995. The base model without Öhlins electronic suspension costs $21,995. Fuel capacity is 4.2 gallons with economy around 32 miles per gallon. But naked aggression is nothing compared to what happens when engineers strap a screaming air compressor to an already ridiculous engine, because apparently making too much power wasn't a good enough problem to have. 13. Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX. The Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX takes Kawasaki's supercharged insanity and wraps it in sport touring bodywork, creating a motorcycle that can terrorize back roads in the morning and comfortably cover 500 miles in the afternoon. The engine is a 998 cc supercharged inline 4, producing 207 horsepower at 11,500 RPM and 103 foot-pounds of torque at 9,500 RPM. The bike weighs 573 pounds wet. Heavy, but the weight includes a 6.3-gallon fuel tank, full luggage mounting points, and a center stand. This is a serious touring bike that just happens to be faster than most superbikes. New MSRP for the 2026 Ninja H2 SX SE is $27,999. The base model without electronic suspension costs $24,999. Fuel economy is surprisingly decent at 38 miles per gallon, giving you over 230 miles of range. Think forced induction is the only way to stuff insane power into a motorcycle? The next bike is an Italian psychopath, and it proves that sometimes the old school answer to, how do we make more power, is simply make it bigger, and the result is absolutely glorious. And we're still talking about motorcycles. 12. Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 Factory. The Aprilia Tuono V4 1100 Factory is the motorcycle that terrifies even experienced riders. A naked bike with superbike power and zero forgiveness for mistakes. The engine is a 1099cc V4, producing 175 horsepower at 10,750 RPM and 89 foot-pounds of torque at 9,000 RPM. This is Aprilia's race-proven RSV4, motor detuned slightly for street use. The engine's narrow 65-degree cylinder angle creates a compact package while maintaining perfect primary balance. Performance is savage. 0 to 60 takes 2.8 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 9.38 seconds at 149 miles per hour. Top speed is 172 miles per hour with the naked bike aerodynamics creating significant drag. New MSRP for the 2026 210V 1100 Factory is $19,999. That's expensive, but you're getting Öhlins Smart EC 2.0 electronic suspension and top-shelf Brembo-style brakes. Quick reminder, if this kind of raw power content is getting your adrenaline pumping, hit that subscribe button now. You can do it. Craving more displacement and torque that'll actually rip your arms from their sockets? Our next reveal is an American muscle machine that just rolled up with cylinders so big you could practically fit a fist inside them. 11. Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. The Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide is the motorcycle that proves Americans build engines differently, prioritizing low-end torque that'll rip your arms off rather than high RPM horsepower. The engine is a 1,923cc Milwaukee 8V twin, producing 115 horsepower at 5,000 RPM and 140 foot-pounds of torque at 3,500 RPM. That torque number is absurd, more than most superbikes make, and it arrives at an RPM where you actually use it on the street. The bike weighs 938 pounds wet, ridiculously heavy, but that weight is necessary to handle the torque and provide stability at highway speeds with a passenger and luggage. Performance is interesting. 0 to 60 takes 4.1 seconds, slow compared to sport bikes, but the acceleration feels more violent because of the instant torque hit. Quarter-mile time is 12.3 seconds at 114 miles per hour. Top speed is 130 miles per hour. Speaking about the technology, it includes reflex defensive rider systems with cornering IBES and traction control, adaptive ride height that automatically lowers the bike at stops, and a massive 8-inch touchscreen with navigation and Bluetooth. New MSRP for the 2026 CVO Road Glide is $46,999. Yes, you read that correctly. $47,000 for a Harley, but it's their flagship touring bike with every upgrade imaginable. Want displacement without the Harley compromises? This next bike just entered the chat with both barrels loaded. 10. BMW K1600 Grand America. The BMW K1600 Grand America is the motorcycle that asks, what if we built a touring bike with a sports car engine? The engine is a 1,649cc inline-six, producing 160 horsepower at 7,750 RPM and 129 foot-pounds of torque at 5,250 RPM. This is the only production motorcycle with a six-cylinder engine. BMW's engineering masterpiece that's smooth as silk and powerful as hell. The inline-six configuration is narrow. The engine is barely wider than a typical inline-four. BMW achieved this by tilting the cylinders 55 degrees forward, lowering the center of gravity while maintaining a compact width. The engine is so smooth that BMW doesn't need a balancer shaft. The inline-six configuration is inherently balanced. Performance is impressive for a 965-pound touring bike. 0 to 60 takes 3.2 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 11.1 seconds at 126 miles per hour. Top speed is 155 miles per hour. Technology is luxury level. Adaptive headlights that turn with the handlebars, hill start control, heated grips and seats, electronic suspension adjustment, cruise control, tire pressure monitoring, and a 10.25-inch TFT display with navigation and connectivity. For the price, new MSRP for the 2026 KO 1600 Grand America is $29,800. That's expensive, but this bike competes with full-size touring cars in comfort and capability. Touring comfort? Boring. The next bike said, screw your lumbar support, and delivered pure Japanese superbike chaos instead. 9. Yamaha YZF-R1M. The Yamaha YZF-R1M is the closest thing to a MGPTO bike you can buy with a license plate. A motorcycle that's terrifying on the street and dominant on the track. The engine is a 998cc cross-plane crank inline-4, producing 200 horsepower at 13,500 RPM and 83 foot-pounds of torque at 11,500 RPM. The cross-plane crankshaft, where the crank pins are spaced at 90-degree intervals instead of the typical 180 degrees, creates irregular firing intervals that improve rear tire traction. The engine redlines at 14,500 RPM, screaming high for a production bike. Power delivery is linear and progressive until about 10,000 RPM. Then it explodes with fury as the engine reaches peak power. Speaking about performance, it is race caliber. 0 to 60 takes 2.5 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 9.2 seconds at 152 miles per hour. Top speed is 186 miles per hour with the electronic limiter, but the bike has enough power for over 200 miles per hour without the restriction. Want to know the inbuilt technology? It's a full race spec, 6-axis IMU, launch control, slide control, lift control, brake control, traction control, and quick shifter. The electronics package includes Öhlins electronic racing suspension with automatic damping adjustment. The carbon fiber bodywork is lightweight and functional. New MSRP for the 2026 YZF-R1M is $26,799. The standard R1 costs $18,499 without the electronic suspension and carbon bodywork. Japanese inline fours are adorable, until this Italian V4 shows up and obliterates everything you thought you knew about power. 8. Ducati Panigale V4 SP2. The Ducati Panigale V4 SP2 is the motorcycle that makes professional racers nervous. A production bike with factory race spec components that shouldn't be street legal, but somehow is. The engine is a 1,103cc Desmosedici Stradale V4 producing 214 horsepower at 13,000 RPM and 91 foot-pounds of torque at 9,500 RPM. This is the full-power version of Ducati's V4. No detuning, no restrictions, just pure race motor with a catalytic converter bolted on for emissions compliance. The bike weighs 386 pounds dry, approximately 428 pounds wet. That's ridiculously light, creating a power-to-weight ratio of half a pound per horsepower. That's insane. New MSRP for the 2026 Panigale 5 4SP2 is $40,495. That's supercar money for a motorcycle, but you're getting genuine race technology. Think Ducati's V4 is the king? Cute. This next bike just walked in and said, "Watch this," and the numbers are absolutely mental. 7. Aprilia RSV 41100 Factory. The Aprilia RSV 41100 Factory is the motorcycle that dominates world superbike racing, and Aprilia will happily sell you the exact same bike for the street. The engine is a 1099cc V4 producing 217 horsepower at 13,000 RPM and 91 foot-pounds of torque at 10,000 RPM. That's more horsepower than Ducati's V4, despite having smaller displacement. Aprilia achieves this through aggressive cam profiles and higher compression ratio. The engine uses a narrow 65-degree V angle, creating a compact centralized mass. The cylinders are positioned in a longitudinal configuration, parallel to the frame, allowing Aprilia to use a very short wheelbase of 54.3 inches. This makes the bike turn insanely quick. Performance of this bike is track-focused. 0 to 60 takes 2.3 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 8.99 seconds at 155 miles per hour. Top speed is 204 miles per hour, faster than most supercars. Technology is full WSBK spec, 6-axis IMU, cornering IBIS, wheelie control, traction control, launch control, quick shifter, cruise control, and pit limiter. The electronics package includes Öhlins Smart EC 3.0 semi-active suspension that adjusts damping 200 times per second based on riding conditions. New MSRP for the 2026 RS4E 41100 factory is $28,999. That's serious money, but you're getting a World Superbike homologation special. Italian V4s are adorable little angels until someone bolts a screaming supercharger onto a Superbike and creates an absolute monster. 6. Kawasaki Ninja H2. The Kawasaki Ninja H2 is the motorcycle that changed everything. The first production bike with factory-installed forced induction in over 30 years, creating a machine that's more powerful than most people can handle. The engine is a 998cc supercharged inline-4, producing 228 horsepower at 11,500 RPM and 104 foot-pounds of torque at 11,000 RPM. The supercharger produces up to 18 psi of boost, double what most turbocharged cars run. The bike weighs 528 pounds wet. Heavy for a superbike, but necessary to handle the power. The chassis uses a trellis frame, unusual for a modern sport bike, because traditional aluminum frames couldn't handle the engine's power output. Performance is absolutely mind-blowing. 0 to 60 happens in 2.2 seconds, with brutal, violent acceleration that feels like getting rear-ended by a truck. Quarter-mile time is 8.87 seconds at 157 miles per hour. Top speed is electronically limited to 186 miles per hour, but Kawasaki sells a track-only H2R version that reaches 249 miles per hour. The technology includes Kawasaki's full KECS electronics with cornering I/ES, traction control, launch control, engine brake control, and quick shifter. The bodywork uses mirror-coated spark green paint that's applied through a specialized process, creating a reflective finish. New MSRP for the 2026 Ninja H2 is $33,499. The track-only H2R costs $57,000. Forced induction is cheating, and the top 5 bikes are about to prove you don't need a supercharger when your engineers are absolutely insane. 5. MV Agusta Brutale 1,000 rupees. The MV Agusta Brutale 1000 RS is Italian motorcycle engineering at its most excessive. A naked bike making more horsepower than most superbikes while looking like rolling sculpture. The engine is a 998cc inline-4, producing 212 horsepower at 13,450 RPM and 86 foot-pounds of torque at 11,000 RPM. This is MV Agusta's full race motor with titanium connecting rods, DLC-coated valve rockers, and aggressive cam profiles that should be illegal for street use. The engine redlines at 14,000 RPM, screaming high. Power delivery is linear until 10,000 RPM, then becomes savage as the engine reaches peak output. The exhaust note is operatic, one of the best-sounding engines in motorcycling. The bike weighs 412 pounds dry, approximately 454 pounds wet. The power-to-weight ratio approaches race bike levels, despite being a naked street bike. Technology includes MV Agusta's MVIX with 8-level traction control, wheelie control, launch control, engine brake control, and quick shifter. The electronics package includes Öhlins Smart EC 2.0 electronic suspension with event sensors providing continuous damping adjustment. New MSRP for the 2026 Brutale 1000 RS is $32,998. That's absurd money for a naked bike. But MV Agusta builds only 500 units per year, making it genuinely exclusive. The craftsmanship is stunning. Every component is jewelry quality with exposed mechanical details that look like automotive art. But guess what? Italian art means nothing when Austrian engineering enters the conversation with obscene power levels. 4. KTM 1390 Super Duke R Evo. The KTM 1390 Super Duke R Evo is what happens when Austrian engineers ask, how much power can we make before the bike becomes literally unrideable? The engine is a 1,351 cubic centimeters V-twin, producing 205 horsepower at 9,500 RPM and 104 foot-pounds of torque at 6,000 RPM. This is the most powerful V-twin ever installed in a production motorcycle. The displacement is massive for a twin, 1.35 liters. The engine uses titanium intake valves, forged pistons, and DLC-coated piston pins. The crankshaft is a 75-degree V configuration, creating optimal primary balance while maintaining the thunderous exhaust note V-twins are famous for. Performance is terrifying. 0 to 60 happens in 2.3 seconds with acceleration that feels like getting launched from a catapult. Quarter-mile time is 8.95 seconds at 156 miles per hour. Top speed is 189 miles per hour. The bike weighs 419 pounds dry, approximately 461 pounds wet. That creates a power-to-weight ratio that makes this bike violent in the best possible way. New MSRP for the 2026 Super Duke R Evo is $24,998. The standard Super Duke R costs $19,998 without the carbon bodywork and semi-active suspension. Fuel capacity is 4.7 gallons with economy around 34 miles per gallon. The bike includes carbon fiber wheels, saving 9 pounds of unsprung weight, dramatically improving handling and acceleration. We've just covered insane machines making over 200 horsepower, but the final 3 bikes are operating in a completely different realm of power. The top 3 are about to blow your mind. Let's finish this. 3. Suzuki GSX-R 1000R. The Suzuki GSX-R 1000R is the motorcycle that proves Suzuki still knows how to build ridiculously powerful inline-4 engines that rival anything from Europe. The engine is a 999cc inline-4, producing 202 horsepower at 13,200 RPM and 86 foot-pounds of torque at 10,800 RPM. The engine extracts 202 horsepower from 999 cubic centimeters. That's 202 horsepower per liter, matching Formula One specific output. Performance is race level. 0 to 60 takes 2.4 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 9.05 seconds at 154 miles per hour. Top speed is 186 miles per hour with the electronic limiter. The bike weighs 446 pounds wet, competitive with all superbikes. The aluminum twin-spar frame is designed for optimal rigidity with carefully controlled flex in specific areas. Technology includes Suzuki's motion track brake system with cornering I/ES, 10-level traction control, launch control, quick shifter, and 3 riding modes. The electronics package includes Showa Balance Free Fork, a specialized suspension design that separates damping and spring functions for improved performance. New MSRP for the 2026 GSX-R 1000R is $17,999. That's the cheapest bike in the top 3, making it incredible value for this performance level. Japanese efficiency is impressive until Italian passion shows up, throws logic out the window, and builds something so beautiful it'll make you cry while it terrorizes you. 2. MV Agusta F4 RC. The MV Agusta F4 RC is the most exclusive, most powerful, and most expensive naturally aspirated motorcycle ever created. A machine that exists purely to prove MV Agusta builds the ultimate superbikes. The engine is a 998cc inline-4, producing 212 horsepower at 13,450 RPM and 87 foot-pounds of torque at 11,000 RPM. But here's what makes it special. The engine redlines at 15,000 RPM. 15,000. That's Formula Bike territory. This bike weighs 386 pounds dry, approximately 428 pounds wet. Every component is optimized for weight savings. The bodywork is full carbon fiber. The wheels are carbon fiber. The swing arm is carbon fiber. Everything is designed to be as light as possible. Performance is absolutely devastating. 0 to 60 happens in 2.3 seconds. Quarter-mile time is 8.98 seconds at 156 miles per hour. Top speed is 204 miles per hour. Technology includes MV Agusta's full race electronics with 8-level traction control, wheelie control, launch control, engine brake control, and quick shifter. The suspension is fully adjustable. Öhlins Nix 30 forks and TTX 36 shock. Full factory race suspension. New MSRP for the 2026 F4 RC is $46,998. MV Agusta builds only 250 units per year, making it genuinely rare. Natural aspiration tried its best, but the #1 bike said, "Enough playing nice," and strapped on a supercharger that makes race cars jealous. 1. Kawasaki Ninja H2R. The Kawasaki Ninja H2R is the most powerful production motorcycle ever built, a track-only monster that makes 242 horsepower and redefines what's possible on two wheels. The engine is a 998cc supercharged inline-4, producing 242 horsepower at 12,500 RPM and 114 foot-pounds of torque at 11,000 RPM. That's more horsepower than a Porsche 911 GT3 from a 1-liter motorcycle engine. The supercharger produces up to 21 PS of boost, extreme pressure forcing massive amounts of air into the combustion chambers. The compressor spins at speeds exceeding 140,000 RPM. The intercooler is massive, using sophisticated internal passages to cool compressed air before it enters the engine. Performance is absolutely insane. 0 to 60 happens in under 2.1 seconds. Difficult to measure accurately because the acceleration is so violent that sophisticated timing equipment struggles to keep up. Quarter-mile time is 8.72 seconds at 160 miles per hour. Top speed is 249 miles per hour, verified on multiple occasions. The bike weighs 476 pounds wet. Despite being heavier than most superbikes, the power-to-weight ratio is absurd, approximately 1.96 pounds per horsepower. That's better than most Formula One cars. Technology is full race spec, but includes zero street-legal equipment. No lights, no turn signals, no mirrors, just pure, unfiltered performance. The electronics include 6-axis IMU, launch control, traction control, wheelie control, and quick shifter. The bodywork uses aggressive aerodynamics with winglets generating significant downforce at high speeds. New MSRP for the 2026 Ninja H2R is $57,999. That's nearly $60,000 for a motorcycle you can't ride on the street. But Kawasaki sells every unit they produce because this bike represents the absolute pinnacle of motorcycle engineering. Fuel capacity is 4.7 gallons, but at full throttle, the bike consumes fuel at ridiculous rates. Expect 12 miles per gallon during aggressive riding. The H2R is painted in Kawasaki's signature lime green with bare carbon fiber accents and Rivermark logo, the traditional symbol representing Kawasaki's river origins. This bike holds the record as the fastest accelerating production vehicle on Earth. Faster than any car, any motorcycle, anything you can buy with a warranty. Vroom! More motorcycle. Click on the next video. And please like this video, and of course you are already subscribed, right? No? Then what are you waiting for? Subscribe.